Hey, y'all, it's Tim Miller with the Bulwark. There was some big news tonight in the entertainment and sports world that might not seem like it's about politics, but I think it could have huge reverberations for 2024. Mark Cuban, famous for owning the Dallas Mavericks, for being on Shark Tank, for being a rich guy, for flirting with politics in the past, for campaigning for Hillary Clinton against Trump, for being a very active tweeter and now threader. He made some huge career moves in the last 2 days. On Monday, Cuban said he was out at Shark Tank at the end of season 16. He's been on the show for well over a decade now. Then on Tuesday, he announced he was selling his majority share in the Dallas Mavericks to Miriam Adelson, the wife of the late Sheldon Adelson, casino magnate and big Republican donor. Now, Cuban has still said that he's going to have operating control of the team, but financially, he has passed off his shares over to the Adelsons. Valuation of the Mavericks at about $3.5 billion. So not chump change that the Adelsons have put up here to become majority shareholders of the Mavericks. All of this news leads me to wonder, something's up with Mark Cuban. Is it a coincidence that he is doing this on right after Thanksgiving, the year before a presidential election, when the two likely major candidate nominees are both pretty unpopular? Whatever your personal views are of Joe Biden, let's just be honest. Joe Biden is pretty unpopular in the polls. People are speaking pretty clearly that they would rather the Democrats look to another candidate. Donald Trump is obviously wildly unpopular, as evidenced by the fact that Joe Biden schlonged him by 7 million votes in the last election. Rich guys are obviously looking at this field. They're looking at 2024 and they're thinking, why not me? Well, we know that Mark Cuban has thought, why not me in the past? He's flirted with third party runs in the past. He has his cost plus pharmaceutical business, which obviously is a business first, but certainly given the concerns about healthcare, would give him a platform to speak about an issue in the rising cost of healthcare, the ever rising cost of healthcare that has bedeviled a lot of politicians and that a lot of voters care about deeply. So look, I don't have any inside info. Mark Cuban's not whispering in my ear. We've threaded at each other a couple times. I met him in the CNN green room once or twice, but I don't know the dude. All I'm telling you is there's something happening. Okay? There's something funny happening. Mark Cuban has a plan. He doesn't seem like the George W. Bush type. He's not retiring to Midland to paint. Okay. Now we should note that Mark Cuban was asked about this in July in an email to my friend Vaughn Hilliard over at NBC. And Cuban replied, "No, my family would disown me," when asked about whether he would consider a run for president. But, that was then. This is now. People change their views sometimes. And the dude says he's off Shark Tank. The dude says he's selling the Mavericks. And the 2024 election is coming up next year. There have been reports that he's talked to no labels in the past. Maybe he's thinking about getting in 2024. Maybe he's got other plans. But maybe he's thinking about getting in 2024. And if he did that, that would be an earthquake in the race. He would be by far the biggest name that can be considered in this sort of third-party centrist, no labels lane. He would command much more media attention. I think much more voter interest than a Joe Manchin, John Huntsman, Kirsten Sinema, these other names that are being bandied about. So I think that would be something that would have a major impact on the race. My personal opinion, I like Cuban, but I think it could have potentially a disastrous impact on the race for Joe Biden. I think that'd be the biggest question for somebody like Mike Cuban as they get in this race. You don't want to be the person that accidentally ends the democracy because you got into a race and threw an election to Donald Trump. And I think that the initial people that would be interested in a Cuban race, given the fact that he's endorsed and donated to Democrats in the past, would be center-left Democrats, maybe even center-right Republicans, but the types of people that would be tending to be looking at part of the Joe Biden anti-Trump coalition, those would be the people, generically speaking, that would be most drawn to Cuban. And as such, if we were to get in, it would be most likely that he would hurt Biden and help Trump. Obviously, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but if Cuban was to look at a race, I think that would be question number one. How do you get into a race and make sure that you're not helping Donald Trump, somebody that he's spoken out clearly about for quite some time now. It's interesting. Maybe it's nothing, but it's something to watch. And if there is something as potentially as big as Mark Cuban running in a third party ticket out there, then obviously we're going to be monitoring it for you at the Bulwark. So we'll keep an eye on this one. If there's any more news, we'll update you. Come on back, subscribe to the YouTube page. You know we're getting no BS news. That's never Trump. Always honest. Right here, the Bulwark. Peace. Hey, if you like this video and our content, I'd love for you to become a Bulwark Plus member. You get bonus podcasts, you get bonus newsletters, you get bonus takes from me that maybe don't come up on the YouTube feed. You can try it out for free at thebulwark.com/free trial. The link is below in the description. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. We have great commenters and great opportunities for people who want to protect democracy.